Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into Shai, etc. this Monday evening. Today, we have a guest who's a very dear friend, Dr. Sharad Patel, a young physician. He's barely in his 20s, not even 30 yet. Dr. Patel is not just a physician, he's also a lecturer at a college teaching the students of the second year medical school. Dr. Sharad has been volunteering for various projects. Himself went through challenges on mental health and he helps people overcome their challenges through spirituality. Let's bring on Dr. Sharad Anil Patel and listen to his story of how spirituality has helped him overcome mental health issues. Hi, Sharad.
Hello, Kanchanji. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. And hello to everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for this warm welcome.
Thank you, my dear, for accepting my invite so
No,
lovingly.
not at all. Not
Thank
at
you
all.
for the wonderful time I have spent with you during both four, where you
Yes.
were
Oh,
trained
oh
by
yes.
Dr. Dadashreeji himself.
Definitely. That was something else. That was a good time. That was a good time.
That was some beautiful experience. Hey, Ridhima, hi to you as well.
Hi,
Hello.
Radhima.
So, डॉक्टर शरद पहला तो ना मुझे डॉक्टर बोलने में ना बड़ा अजीब सा फील हो
Ajib sa
रहा
lagta. Absolutely. You just call me Sharad. You just call me Sharad. That's more than enough.
like for me it was such a big shock when I first came to know that oh my god he's a doctor. The second shock was oh my god he's just in his 20s.
Yeah. Many people, even my friends like, are you sure you're a doctor? And I'm like, yes. Now I literally have to roam with my certificate. I'm not even lying.
And the level of emotional maturity you carry, the level में जैसे हिंदी में हम कहते हैं ठहराव,
Oh,
the level of emotional maturity you carry is rare to be seen in youth.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Thank you. Tell me, what is it that, a doctor by profession is today so deep into spirituality?
Hmm. So, to be honest, I knew absolutely nothing about spirituality. Even the definition of the word was very alienating for me. I had absolutely no idea what it is until one life experience that changed things for me. So, there's a story over here, a life
You're
experience that I would
most
like
welcome.
to
I love stories.
share. So, it so happened that it was the year 2017 and it was the night of 22nd March. It was somewhere around 12:30 in the night, and I was by myself on a laptop watching an episode of Modern Family and laughing by myself. I stay alone, so I was just laughing by myself to this funny episode, and out of nowhere, I start feeling a little dizzy, and I was like, okay, so I did go for a run a while back, and it might be that my sugars dropped, and that is why I'm feeling that. So I got up, I went to my kitchen, opened my fridge. There was a bottle of Coca-Cola full with sugar. So I just drank that bottle, and I was like, okay, now I'll be fine. I went back to my bed and I continued watching my show. But then came the giddiness. I was not feeling good. I was feeling a little nauseating and I started sweating. And I was like, okay, what is happening with me? What am I experiencing? What am I feeling? I had absolutely no idea what was happening. I was like, okay, I gave myself a pep talk that, okay, just calm, just relax, all will be fine. And I tried watching the show. I tried continuing with what I was doing, but it just didn't feel right. I was very uneasy internally. I was sweating. My heartbeat was racing. And I was like, something's up. Despite having sugar and despite increasing my glucose level, I was not feeling good. There happens to be a hospital nearby to where I stay, just some 200 meters away. So I took the keys, locked the house, and started walking towards the hospital. As I started walking towards the hospital, I went there, I reached there, and there was an attending sister, a nurse, and I addressed her and said, "Okay, sister, could you just check my glucose level?" I introduced myself as a doctor and I told her that, could you just check my glucose level? And she just happened to check my glucose levels and they were completely normal range. She was like, it is a very good glucose level. And I was like, yeah, it is good. But yeah, I explained that I'm still feeling dizzy and giddy. Is there an attending doctor I could talk to or something? But she said, Ki, don't worry. And I felt calm by what she had to say that don't worry. Why don't you just, you might be low on electrolytes. So why don't you just go and drink this electrolytes and you'll feel fine. And honestly, I did feel fine. So here I am taking the 200 meters back to my home, and I came back home and I had, like, on the way I was having this electrolytes and everything. I came back home and I sat down, when prepared myself for the night, made my bed and everything, and then again it started. The dizziness, the giddiness, the heart rate increased. I was profusely sweating, and I had never experienced something like this before that day.
And and
Sorry.
you being a medical doctor, you knew that your physical health was perfectly fine.
Yes, yes. I knew that I was, there's nothing wrong with me. So why am I going through this symptoms, this plethora of symptoms, such uneasiness? So I did the thing. I again by myself went to the hospital and got myself admitted. And the attending doctor came and he said, what are you experiencing? So I said, heart palpitations, slight pain in the chest and everything. So the obvious thing was to get an ECG done, just to check if I was healthy cardiovascularly. So they got an ECG done, and of course, it came out to be normal. It was pretty good. So he said, why don't you stay the night for observation? We'll put you on multivitamins and everything, the routine fluids and everything, and you will feel better. So I said, yes, why not? So I did that, and by the morning, I was relatively better. They discharged me home without a diagnosis. They discharged me home and said that now you're feeling better. It could be generalized weakness. So I was like, okay, could be possible. So I reached home, and yes, the next day morning, I was not feeling to my optimum best. And it is then that it slowly clicked that I just had a panic attack. Okay. Why it happened, I have no idea. What was the trigger? I have no idea. What was I fearing? I had no idea. And I just knew that the
So
symptoms could only
was
match.
was everything in your environment, in your emotional space, in your life going fine, or was there some trigger for you having a panic attack at that point in time?
So yes, obviously, when I self-diagnosed myself that okay, it could be panic attack, my obvious thing was to get on a discovery that what was my trigger, what caused this. But everything was going perfectly well in my life. If I look at externally, everything was going perfectly well. I had a steady job, steady finances, steady relationship with my family, good health, everything. There was absolutely no issue that would, cause this emotions. However, I still didn't get answer that what was the reason for this. 15 days, 16 days passed. I could not sleep at night properly. I got around somewhere 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep maximum on a good night. So for continuous, from
And
post
yet,
20 March,
yet there was no
relief.
knowing of what the trigger was.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea. I had no idea. And 20 on after 22nd, give or take around 15 days, I had absolutely no idea that what is happening with me. Why
So
am I not getting to sleep well? Why is my acid reflux and why is the acidity flaring up and what is happening? Absolutely
did
no
you
idea.
did you get on any medication?
Yeah. So post 15 days, I was like, okay, enough is enough. And I scheduled an appointment with a psychiatrist. So I went to the psychiatrist. I explained
Straight
him my
away to a
story.
psychiatrist, not a psychologist.
No, 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 no. One more thing that I did wrong. I just straight away went to the supreme most person for that, and I was like, okay, here I am. I crossed all the by lanes, and I just went there, and I'm like, okay, this is it. And he was like, within 5 minutes, he's like, okay, what you had is a panic attack, and what followed that was a generalized anxiety disorder. There's nothing to worry about. These are the medicines that you need to take. And I was like, okay, anti-anxiety medicines. I took them. I started the course from that day itself. And it so happened that that very day, a friend of mine called and he asked me, he inquired, how am I doing? So I explained him that I'm not feeling good. I'm going through this some issue, physical issues and all. So he said, come over. We could do this meditation that I've learned. And being a doctor, I knew that meditation is something that will help my medicine treatment. So medicine and meditation, it's a good psychological therapy. It's a
It
good
was
therapy.
just a supplement कि ठीक है माइंड
Yeah,
थोड़ा काम हो जाएगा.
काम होगा and वो मेरा medicines और अच्छे से काम करेगा and मेरे लिए अच्छा ही है. It will help me. So I went to my friend's place. I knocked. He opened. He gave me water. We sat. We spoke. And then he said, "Let's do this medicine. Let's do this meditation." And I was like, okay, without knowing anything about the meditation, it was a guided meditation that was going on, and we started meditating. And halfway through the meditation, I started crying.
Oh
I had
my God.
absolutely no idea why I was crying, and crying would be an understatement. I was literally bawling. My eyes would have been red, but they were closed. Towards the end, there were beautiful affirmations. There was beautiful gratitude that was there, which was a part of that meditation, which I'll talk about later. And so it finished, and I opened my eyes and I see that half of my shirt is wet because I was cried so
Sweating
much.
or
But
crying? Oh my
because
God.
of time. But
Oh
towards the
my
end of
God.
the meditation, I felt so good. I felt a relief. I felt like, that I don't know if it was permanent, momentary, but that, that relief, this breath of relief that
I
came out. I
can
was like, okay,
completely correlate. I can
oh God, yes.
completely correlate.
So my friend, then he gave me that meditation CD and he said, why don't you practice it for the next few days? So on my way home, I was looking at the CD, and there was this name of this organization, MaitriBodh Parivaar, and there was this name of the founder, Maitreya Dadashreeji. So being a millennial, I did what I would do. I opened Google, I opened
Research.
YouTube, I just started. Like, what is this organization? Who is the founder? Went through all the interviews, saw the videos, saw the pages, saw the website,
So
everything.
24 hours में पूरा research कर डाला.
Yeah. And on my way, like I sat in the cab from my friends to over here, and by the time I was over here, I had done my preliminary research. And I was like, okay, this sounds nice, this sounds good. So I messaged them on Facebook. Again, a very millennial story. I messaged them on the Facebook that I'm going through so and so issue, and I practiced this meditation and I felt good. So they asked for my contact info and they said if we could connect. And then we spoke on the phone. And it just happens that very close to my house, just 10 minutes from my place, is one of their centers. So I went there and I met many like-minded people over there. Many people were coming to that center to practice
And
meditation.
did you meet anybody from your age group? Did you meet any
From my
millennials?
age group, yeah. As I said, no, the doctors. So there were two doctors that I met over there, more or less my age group, and then the other doctor, and I can take her name, Dr. Manjari. So Dr. Manjari said, "Oh, welcome. Nice to have you over here. She, knowing that I was also a doctor, we started our doctor conversations 5 minutes back and forth. And within 5 minutes, I had already shared my mental health challenge with her. And she's like, "You are at the right place. Continue doing this. If you are comfortable, then continue with your meds as well." And I was like, okay, definitely I'm going to continue with my meds
Yeah,
because
I'm not going to
I
stop
trusted
it.
science more than anything. So I was like,
That
okay,
that
medicines
too
help.
prescribed by a psychiatrist.
Yeah, straight away to the psychiatrist, like, yeah. So that's the same thing. I just went and I spoke to her and she said, continue with your stuff. And then I visited the center regularly, did my meditation, did future programs which helped me. Being a doctor, I was, and having absolutely no idea about what meditation is or what Om is. I didn't even know the spelling of Om, to be
Is someone
precise.
in your family spiritually inclined? Someone at home?
Or see, being an Indian and being an Patel, so puja, part, and everything is part of every household. It is there, but how much went in my brain, I had no idea.
So more of religious practices.
Yes, more of religious practices, more of, okay, my parents are doing, so I should also be doing. It's good manners. And I did it just from a very superficial understanding, very from a knowledge perspective.
But
I,
just from the perspective of being a good boy, good
yeah,
child of the
being a
family.
very homely child, very good child, very innocent child, I did everything that I said. Yeah. But it is only when the experience in my life came at such a crossroad that I desperately seeked out for that help. And then came the understanding of it, then came the experience of it. And that is when things I felt that started getting better for me. Being very science oriented, I knew that, okay, meditation, it helps and everything, but the experiences that followed, the help that I received through it, through various spiritual techniques, various prayers and chanting and meditating, something that I knew absolutely nothing about, became part of my life, became part of my recovery journey. And it is what actually helped me
When you say
exponentially.
recovery, Dr. Sharad,
Hmm.
one anxiety attack, no, वो तो normal है ना. और
Yeah, yeah,
millennials तो मतलब you are so pampered a generation that
yeah.
anxiety attack तो मतलब छोटी सी बात पे आ जाता है. पेरेंट्स ने डांट दिया, anxiety attack हो गया.
Huh.
और
So, that's the
गर्लफ्रेंड
most
से ब्रेकअप हो
interesting
गया,
part.
anxiety attack हो गया.
That's the most interesting part about my story. Being a doctor, I have seen anxiety cases. I have seen how bad it gets for people and how they have childhood trauma, childhood triggers, PTSDs, and everything. But in my case, absolutely everything was as smooth as it could be. As I said, no, everything was good in my life. I had friends, I had family, I had good relationships, I had finances sorted, everything was going good. And then
पटेल
still this
फैमिली
happened.
का अच्छा बच्चा पढ़ लिख के डॉक्टर बना है, फुल पैम्पर्ड, तो
Full
प्रॉब्लम कहाँ
panic.
पे है? प्रॉब्लम कहाँ
Yes,
पे
yes.
है?
Problem kahan pe hai? So once I set on this journey, I started my medicines also and I started my meditations also. So when I was on this journey, the medicines did take care of my physical symptoms. I was at a much better place physically. I could sleep better. I could carry on with my day to day activities better. But there was still that question, why me? Why did I have to go through this? What was my trigger? What was the reason that made me experience all of this? And that is where spirituality helped. And when you look at it from a scientific way, okay, there was something that was treating my symptoms, and then there was something that was accessing my core, operating from within and helping me. So I knew the choice was very clear for me. The choice was absolutely clear for me.
And then your medication, how
Yeah.
and when it stopped.
So within from 22nd March, after 15 days, I started medicines, and within 3 months, I was already I was at much better place, and my doctor felt that this is enough, and my slowly the dosage was tapered off, and within 4 months, I was completely off medicines, and I have been off medicines since then. I have been having a very positive experiences, very positive journey since then. Good friends, good people, surrounded by good people to talk to, good people to learn from, and it has been a positive journey post that.
So when you talk about you've had experiences,
Huh.
what kind of experiences are you talking about? Because we all have experiences and we've
Yes.
all gone through mental health challenges.
Hmm. Hmm. So the experiences that I felt, immediately there were few experiences that immediately came. Those were about complete silence. For those 15 days between the first day of falling sick and then getting help, those 15 days were very chaotic. Those were the most difficult days I have ever lived. I haven't faced anything as bad as that. And the sad part was that when I had to face that, I was completely unprepared. I was completely unprepared for that challenge that came in my life. So during that time, the first experience that I got was relief. Everything within me silenced. The chattering mind silenced. The mind that was so active that I could not even get a peaceful sleep silenced. I could sleep properly. And one of the most profound experiences that I had, which I won't get into much detail, but it made me meet my fear and it showed me what my trigger is. And since that day, I have been working very hard to overcome it, and I have made such a positive growth, such a tremendous stride. Wish I could share, but yeah, I since that day, one of the experiences where I could identify what is going on with me and why I faced what I faced, what was the fear that I had to overcome. Yeah, life has been very easy. And that knowing things about yourself so deep, I had to go to find out what was bothering me, because everything was so rainbows and unicorns and beautiful in my life. This Patel boy was enjoying his life, everything was going so good. So I had to dive very deep into know what was that one thing that I had to change in my life, so that I don't experience that emotions. And that happened through spirituality. you know
So when
I
you say, Sharad, when you say that, the anxiety you had, the fears you had, the turmoil of emotions that you had, and while having all these turmoils, you could calm your mind easily with meditation. Now, meditation is not easy for everyone. आपको शायद फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड टाइम मेडिटेशन में कामनेस फील हुआ होगा, बट ज्यादातर लोग मेडिटेट कर ही नहीं पाते हैं. And you deal with young students. When I say young students, maybe much younger than you. So you deal with young students every day. You're a professor in the college, and there you would be coming across a lot of mental health issues. How do you help them deal with it?
First is, when we talk about my students or young people, they have absolutely no idea that what is happening with them. So for them, for the first step for them is to realize that something is not working in your favor, something is not going right. And forget even young people, that has been challenged for many people going through this. They need a brief moment to realize that something is not smooth. So first is that realization, acknowledgement that okay, something is not smooth, something needs to be changed. Second is giving them that assurance that things do get better. circumstances do change for better. Because that assurance is, I feel like, half the battle won. I had to deal by myself. I stayed alone in everything. But that assurance that I experienced was more than enough to get me going. And that same assurance I try to, share with my students. Once that assurance is established, once they're assured that, okay, things can get better, then if I feel that, okay, they need to talk to an expert, I point blank recommend that. Because there are some indwelling childhood traumas and stress that, requires an expertise. And there is only a little
Most of the
can do.
time, most of us, we don't even know that we have any trauma hidden deep within our soul.
Yes, yes. So it is only when you go within that you realize that something is not working in perfectly. And in my case, it just surfaced one day out of the blue, and that is what I meant when I said that I was unprepared for it. I was not prepared for it, and that trauma just surfaced. So, for many people who don't know about it, it is that experience. Out of blue, one day it just surfaces, and you feel like everything's crumbling. For many people, before an episode like this, they are understanding that, okay, something is not fitting perfectly. And those are the lucky ones who can, start there and there. They don't have to wait for things to get bad. If you think that things are not working in your favor, the
You
time is
just,
now.
yeah, those are the ones who are looking out for support or seeking support or seeking
Seeking.
guidance. So
Yes,
basically,
yes,
for the seekers, the ones who wish to improve and better their lives, it is easier.
yes, yes. And this guidance and this seeking that is coming from within, it has to be, channeled in the right direction. You have to think of constructive ways, productive ways, which are going to help you. Many people sadly have to leverage on maybe, alcoholism or drugs, or, something of that for their moral support to get through that situation, because it is getting so hard for them to deal with it. you know Obviously we cannot judge them, because absolutely we have no clue what they are going through. And in that, if something gives them that momentary relief, obviously it's going to be momentary, they latch on to it. So it is at that point, if they take a right direction, instead of going left, they go right, and see that they work on what their trigger is, what their problem is, what needs to change, what is working in their life, what is not working in their life. All of this can be done when you sit with yourself. You close
That's
your
the
eyes.
toughest thing to do.
Yes, sorry.
That's the toughest thing to do, to
That is
sit
the
with
toughest thing to
yourself.
do. That is where help of someone comes handy. It was my friend who introduced me that meditation. That was my support at that time. Because it is very challenging all by yourself. At times like this, if you have an organization, if you have someone spiritually master or spiritual master, if you have a mentor, if you have friend, your family, your parents, the first step to express to whoever you want to,
So
if that
basically, what
happens.
you're saying is the first step to moving from a mental health challenge to wellness is expression.
Yes. First will be acceptance. Once you accept, the next thing is expression. So you have to now express to someone. You have to share what's going within. From that, the right direction, which I was talking about, will come out on its own.
Now, Dr. Sharad, the
Yes.
direction right or the direction left?
Yes.
Sometimes even the left direction is right, sometimes even the right direction is not
Definitely,
right.
definitely.
So, what is it that one thing that people can do for them to reach the path that they desire to reach? or the path where, the heart feels joyous, the
Yes.
suffering is less.
So when you say the suffering is less, or the heart feels joy, or the heart guides, or you receive inner guidance, it's all about connecting within. Trust me, the best answer is the answer that is coming from inside. And for that, there are various steps, there are various methods that people might choose. I chose meditation. Talking for myself, I chose meditation to go within.
You also chose volunteering, you chose seva.
Yes. Yes.
How
Yes. So
was
that is
that
one more
instrumental?
way. One more way is by volunteering. So the spiritual master that I follow, Maitreya Dadashreeji, he had said that selfless service is the highest in one's life. It is in the joy of serving others. It is in the joy of giving that you receive everything. And that quote stuck with me. And that is how my selfless journey began. Being part of this organization, being a social spiritual organization, there were many opportunities for me to go out and offer my expertise and help people. So by it it is one act that makes you also feel good, and it is one act that the person you are helping, him or her, also feels good. It is like I can't think of a very good win-win situation. So selfless service is that it is, you nurture and develop your inner mentor, your inner divine, through selfless service. And that is exactly, that's what has happened to me. Like, it is not that I chant and I pray for hours and hours. No, I do not do any of that.
Even
I'm
I
being very honest.
can't. I
Yeah, yeah,
pray,
it's not
but
that.
not like sit and chant
Yeah.
for hours.
Yes, yes. I do pray, I do express, I do talk, I do communicate, I meditate, but that's about it. What helps the most, what I have been doing for quite a long time, is meditation and selfless service.
So
The
when you spoke
helping
about
others.
selfless service, I
Hmm.
understand that, um, किसी और के चेहरे पे जो खुशी हम ला सकते हैं,
ला सकते हैं.
या कोई ऐसा काम करे जिससे कि someone's heart fills up with joy,
Joy. Yes.
or you bring tears of joy to yourself.
Hmm.
उससे ज़्यादा I don't think there's any profound
Anything,
feeling.
anything.
I have been serving myself for quite some time in the community, and it's
Yes.
like there is a God, there is a divine in each one you come across.
Each one of, yeah. And serving is selfless services, serving the divine within everyone.
So when we talk about selfless service, एक तो होता है service to humanity. Like I work a lot with humans.
Hmm.
You work a lot with plants.
Yes.
You work with Mother Earth. You work with
Oh,
Earth.
yes.
You work, you do your service, you do the seva or volunteering in a project called Earth Embrace.
Yes.
What is it all about? What is Earth Embrace?
Okay. So, when you see a hungry child and you give them food, and then the joy that they feel, or, when someone wants to cross a road, you help them cross a road, and the joy that they feel. So, I feel for Mother Earth. And we are in an era, we are in a present phase where we have been neglecting Mother Earth. We have not been very kind to her. In fact, we've been causing pain to her. My selfless service and my friends along, the selfless service that we do is for Mother Earth. At Earth Embrace, we want to transform the way we live with Mother Earth. We are trying a level best to again everyone starts operating from love and respect towards Mother Earth. It is that feeling that gets us and all our team members going and helping planet in our very own way, which we can do. It can be through a simple
Hi, Dr.
prayer.
Sharad, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Sorry,
Dr.
did I?
Sharad, can you hear me? Sorry, there was an internet glitch both at our ends.
Acha, both at our ends. Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
So, I was just talking about Earth Embrace and how we and bunch of friends under the guidance of Dadashreeji, we've set out to transform the way people live with Mother Earth. There are various awareness based activities that happen, like we have a prayer for Mother Earth, and we go to schools and colleges and educate them about the current situation.
A prayer for Mother Earth.
Yeah.
How can that help?
How can that help? Okay, so when a child is sick, what helps are the medicines, right? But what helps even more is that comforting hug of a mother, and the assurance that everything will be better, the soup that your mom gets you, the affection that comes along with that care. So it is that same thing. When we give back love, it will help a person heal. If we give love to Mother Earth, it will help Mother Earth heal. It's as simple as that. And there have been various, Japanese communities that have been talking to plants, communicating with plants, and there's this beautiful experiment that was done where they take two jars of rice, they keep them separate, cooked like cooked rice, they keep them in two different jars, and to one jar they give all the abuses and negative words and negative emotions and uh, distraught, and it's completely chaotic. And to the other jar people give love, care, compassion, positive words, they engage positively. And during a week period, it was seen that the jar that was completely neglected and was given the negative words, it had turned black. The rice had gone rancid, it had spoiled. And the one that was being showered with love and all, it was as is. And there are so many scientific experiments pertaining to this. It is so surprising. It's a Japanese experiment. It was so surprising that people all over the internet have been doing this. All you have to do is just Google the rice experiment, and you will actually see the two different jars of rice. And that is the power of love. That is the power of positive words. And that is the power of healing that can come with words. So Dadashiji is given this very, very short prayer for Mother Earth, where all we have to do is just connect with Mother Earth, express that you are sorry for whatever she's going through, and affirm to her that you will make a positive change. So it's a very small and
Can
sweet prayer.
you can you do this prayer with us for our viewers at the end of the conversation, please?
Definitely, definitely. I would love, love, love to do that. So in that Earth Embrace prayer, praying for Mother Earth comes at the forefront. We feel that giving good love, good energy to Mother Earth will help her heal. But at the same time, we have various action-oriented events. We are a bunch of energetic youth from across the world that are very excited to work for Mother Earth. And there are various action oriented events. We have beach cleaning, we have plantation drives, we have afforestation drives, we have colleges and colleges seminars and everything. So it's very exciting. So yeah, so we do that as well. We have a team, like, just a good shout out to my friend Rigved, Meredith, Yulia, Yasmin, Bhavya, and everyone who's been working on this project from across the world in different countries. And it's being part of a platform like this and giving gives a sense of ownership, gives you a sense of volunteering becomes like it becomes very rewarding, is all I can say. It gives a purpose, it gives you a purpose.
Recently, you have been focused on a project called Maitri One.
Oh, yes. You've been
What
reading.
is Maitri One? And we have
One.
Meredith with us.
Oh, yeah. So, hi,
What is
Meredith.
Maitri
Yeah.
One?
So, Maitri 1 is an afforestation project by MaitriBodh Parivaar. When we talk about afforestation project, we are looking at planting trees, like plants at a large scale. We have been lucky that the forest department in Karjat has given us a land from their end where volunteers go and we plant trees.
Wow.
We have taken an oath of planting 1 lakh trees in the land allotted by forest officials in Karjat region, and we call that place itself as Maitri 1. So it is this planting drive, afforestation drive, because planting is one of the ways by which we can combat climate change. The current crises that we are going through with the environment, with the increasing temperature, with the increasing carbon dioxide levels. So planting is definitely a counterproductive activity that we can do in face of that.
So,
So it's
Sharad, somebody like me, um, how can I contribute towards the Maitri One that you all are working on? How can our viewers contribute towards the project, or even connect with you? Rather, I would ask you, next time you're going, please take me along.
yes, definitely. So that's all, to you, Kanchanji, and to everyone that's listening. All you have to do is show up. So we are a bunch of people. We'll go together. We'll plant. We'll have a good day. We'll make a completely field day out of it. We will plant trees. We'll do the Mother Earth prayer. We'll spread the word. We'll get more of our friends to come in, and that is how you can volunteer. That's all that's required. Just your presence, that you come and you plant trees with us.
Wow. So, guys out there, Dr. Sharad Patel is going to do the Mother Earth prayer with
Oh,
us,
yes.
for us. And before that, I would like to thank all our viewers who've joined in today, who've tuned in. Thank you so much, Ridhima, Anshu, Priyanka, Meredith, Dimple, Neha. Thank you each one for joining us, tuning in. And as the conversation uh, brought out, each one of us, whatever background we come from, whether we have traumas, whether we go through traumas or not, whether we go through a challenging childhood or not, whether you know anything as small as a change of energies during a night which brings anxiety, every little bit of our mental health is important. And of course, there are doctors, there are psychologists and psychiatrists. We have a physician with us today. There are doctors who will prescribe you medicines, and I am not saying that you should not go for medicines, but there are easier alternative ways. There are simpler methods to bring positivity in your mental health. Bring a smile to someone's life, add joy to someone's life. Use your words in a manner that they can heal someone. Do selfless service. And beyond that, if you feel that selfless service is not something that you wish to do, you can simply sit and meditate. A guided meditation would also help. If you are not a humanitarian, if you're not somebody who works too much with humans, you can work with plants, you can work with the soil, you can work with Mother Earth. You can embrace the entire earth, maybe just by a simple prayer, and change your mental health challenges into positive spirituality. And with that, I thank you all. And now we go to Dr. Sharad, who will be praying with us for Mother Earth.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kanchanji. Thank you so much. So, everyone, wherever they are seated, wherever you are, just if you could just take, it won't take more than 2 minutes, I assure you. If you could just sit down, calm yourself, relax yourself, bring entire attention towards yourself, and if you could just close your eyes. You can keep your hand, one hand on the heart and other hand touching the ground or the table or whatever connects to the earth. One hand to your heart, one hand to the ground. Completely be relaxed, just touch, connect. Keep your eyes closed. You can visualize that you are in the lap of Mother Earth, in the mountains, in the forest, by the waterfall. Visualize the sound of the water, the calming sound of the water, the chirping of birds, the silence of the forest, connecting to the Mother Earth. You can recite the following words after me. Today and now, I express my love and care for you. Forgive me for causing pain to you. Let me protect and nurture you once again. Let me heal your wounds with my love. Love, love, and only love for you, Mother Earth.
Wow, wow.
You can slowly
Thank
open your eyes.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you so
I've been controlling myself. I've been marking my words very carefully, calling you Dr. Sharad, Sharad. You know, trying to control myself from saying, "Hey, darling, don't say this," or "What is the answer?"
much.
What would you say to that? Thank you so much, darling. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Shara.
much.
Lots and
So much.
lots and lots and lots of love to you. Always a pleasure being with you. Always
Yes.
a pleasure.
Thank you so much to you, Kanchanji, for giving me this platform to share my story. Thank you so much to all the people who are listening live. As Kanchanji shared before, I would just reiterate again that help is available. You don't have to choose suffering. There is help available. Connect within, connect with selfless service, do what you like, express your heart to people around you, use right words, use right communications, and there is nothing that will hamper you, there's nothing that will bother you. Make good friends, be part of something special, give meaning, give purpose to everything that you do. It has helped me, and without a doubt it will help you. Thank you so much, Kanchanji. Thank you so much, everyone.
Good night. Shabak hair, each one. Lots of love to everybody. And a warm hug to you, Shara. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.